and welcome to SCAN's Community Connection. My name is Tom Hayes. I'm Director of Customer and Community Relations for New Jersey Natural Gas, and fortunate to be your host for today's first time ever virtual presentation of SCAN's Community Connections. And we have a wonderful guest with us today, somebody I've known for years, does great work. Her name is Diana Burich, and she is the Acting Director of Education from the K-12 program coordinator at Sea Grant Consortium, which is a great organization out on Sandy Hook. They just do amazing work. And Diana, I understand you're also the president of the New Jersey Marine Education Association. Is that correct?
Yes, I am, Tom.
Yeah. So welcome to the program today. We appreciate having you with us today. Again, we have a long time partnership with my company, New Jersey Natural Gas, and the Sea Grant Consortium. So welcome. Look forward to having a nice conversation with you today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I guess, for our viewers, let's start with really what is the New Jersey Sea Grant Consortium? Because that's an interesting name that I don't think most people would be able to really put together what you do with just that name.
Right. So New Jersey Sea Grant Consortium is a nonprofit affiliation of colleges, universities, and other groups that are dedicated to advancing knowledge and stewardship of New Jersey's marine and coastal environments. Our mission is to promote the wise use of these resources through research, education, and extension programs. And we were actually originally founded in 1969 as the New Jersey Marine Sciences Consortium, with our beginnings as an organization leading the way in marine and environmental science research in the state of New Jersey. And since 1976, we've managed the New Jersey Sea Grant Program. It's part of the National Sea Grant College Program. It's a national effort that funds competitive research focusing on specific priority areas such as healthy coastal ecosystems, resilient communities and economies, sustainable fisheries and aquaculture, and environmental literacy and workforce development. So for more than 40 years, New Jersey Sea Grant has served the state and the region by developing programs designed to resolve coastal issues and develop technology, formulate science-based policy, and improve environmental literacy among its citizens.
That's great. I mean, again, from the work we do with you guys, we know how well, you're so organized, you're so professional, you're always a pleasure to work with. So, I know that you're doing all this great work to keep us all informed and educated and really up to snuff on what's going on out there in our marine ecology.
Thanks. We try hard.
Yes. So, of course, the work that you do is so marine life centered and all that. And you have an amazing location that I know I've been to many, many times. And, maybe you can tell our viewers about your beautiful location there.
Yes, we're located in Fort Hancock. And a lot of people don't realize that Fort Hancock is at the tip of Sandy Hook. So Sandy Hook is at the beginning of the New Jersey Barrier Beach system. It's also part of Gateway National Recreation Area, the gateway to New York Harbor. It's a national park that a lot of citizens don't realize is in their own backyard.
That is an amazing facility. It's just beautiful out there. And you're in a historic building out there, right?
We are. We're located in an old barrack building that we restored about a dozen years ago to its original grandeur. Right. And it's really a beautiful place to work. There's natural areas, maritime forests, barrier beaches. It's very calming when you go to work. And I have to admit, as an educator, it's the best classroom in the state.
Yes, I would have to agree. Haven't been out there, like I said, it is a beautiful facility. That whole area out there at Fort Hancock, there's many buildings out there, and unfortunately, many of them are falling apart because they're not being utilized and all that. But it is a blessing to have an organization like yours in one of them, making sure it's being maintained and all that. And I know there's a few others that are in operation, but there's so many that are falling apart. And for our viewers that have not been out there to visit that area of Sandy Hook, or to visit your wonderful organization, your location, they really should take that ride. How far would you say it is? You go there, well, when we don't have COVID going on, you were going there every day. I know when I go for meetings, I feel like I reach Sandy Hook and I'm thinking, oh, good, I'm going to make it on time. But then it's at least 10 minutes to get out to Fort Hancock along Sandy Hook?
It's actually 5 miles from the entrance gate. So when you're riding, you have Sandy Hook Bay on your left. When you're riding north to the offices, you have the Atlantic Ocean on your right. You have beautiful natural dunes. Um, there's a lot of recreation out there. A lot of people use Sandy Hook for surfing and bathing and running and hiking. There's a multi-use path that people can utilize as well. We actually have one of the 10 best kite surfing beaches in the country at Sandy
Ah,
Hook. So on a windy day, if you take a ride out there, or if you like to kite surf, I give those people a lot of credit. They're very brave. It's fun to watch, really
yes.
exciting.
That's great. That's a good thing to know, especially for folks that might be locked down during this whole environment, COVID situation. People can get out there and really enjoy the natural beauty of the location and go fly a kite.
Yeah. Yes, but not on the ocean beaches this time of year because we have endangered seabirds that are nesting now. So just like you can't
Ah,
have dogs on the beach, you
yep.
also can't have kite flying on beaches right now.
Now, is that on both sides, on the bay side too, everywhere?
Just on the ocean side.
Okay.
Just on the
So,
ocean side, because your birds are going to be nesting on the ocean beaches.
okay. So they
Things
can go
like piping plovers,
yes.
black cap skimmers.
All right. So they can go on the bay side though and fly their kites.
Yes, they can.
Okay, good. So I know you mentioned some things in the opening about New Jersey Sea Grant Consortium and kind of what you do, but maybe you can give us a little more detail on the different things that you do.
Yes, absolutely. Um, I mentioned earlier that we meet our mission by research extension and communications, actually. So primarily what we do is we fund state-based research on marine and coastal science in the state, and then we translate that information for public use through our communications outreach and education efforts. So for instance, the type of research project that we might fund would be whether debris carried by rivers in North Jersey are contributing to microplastics entering the marine food chain, or something like looking at green stormwater best management practices for pollution prevention. So that would be something that we would fund research for. But
Hmm.
our group, meaning our educators and our extension agents, so we're able to respond to the problems that need to be addressed in the state based on the needs of the stakeholders, the people that we serve. So after Hurricane Sandy, this is a great example. In 2012, many of us along the coast were affected by that. One of the extension agents alerted our educators to the results of a study that he conducted to determine why people didn't heed the evacuation orders after Hurricane Sandy. And what was learned from his study was that citizens didn't understand the basics of weather science and storm surge in particular. So the education team then developed lesson plans and a learning module to address this. We shared it with educators. So we trained the teachers at local, regional, and also a national conference. We also share our information on our website for free to educators. And in turn, the teachers utilized the classroom materials that were developed and taught the students about what storm surge was. And so the hope with that is that children then would go home and communicate what they learned to their parents and their friends and their families so that people would have a better understanding of storm surge. Another example of our efforts would be, let's say, through communications. So our communication specialists and extension agents and funded researchers collaborated on creating a dune manual after Hurricane Sandy that served as guidance to local coastal towns in preserving beach dunes. And they also created signage to protect the new investments. So you might see signs along New Jersey's beaches that say why you shouldn't walk on the dunes, why it's important to protect them, and why you shouldn't walk on them. So that would be something that actually was something that was produced by us and partners.
Wow.
Another example I could give you would be if, let's just say, if a marina wanted to adopt environmentally friendly business practices to reduce pollution in the local water bodies, our marine recreation agent would help them do that. So
Oh,
those are
great.
just a few examples of what we do and how we work with organizations and stakeholders in New Jersey.
Gotcha. So now I know you do. So those are several ways that help people of New Jersey in terms of bringing out that kind of, information to the forefront and helping and assisting and all that sort of thing. But what types of education programs are available at Sea Grant Consortium, as like for children and things like that?
And we definitely, among the Sea Grant network, because we are part of a national network, we're known for our education programs. We do have, comparatively to other states' programs, we do have a pretty robust program. We have a field trip program for K through 12 students that educates close to 20,000 students a year at Sandy Hook, instructor-led, environmental, hands-on, inquiry-based type programs that teachers would bring their students to for a day at the Jersey Shore. The things that we focus on are coastal ecology, the dynamics of barrier beaches, salt marsh ecology. We focus on educating people about the ecosystems on the coast and really how humans are interconnected with them, and that it's important to care for them. We have off-site and in-school and family science programs. So if school groups are not able to come to Sandy Hook, we bring the program to them at their location. And we've been working with a number of school districts for years. The Linden School District has been a partner of ours for over 20 years, that we've been bringing our programs to them when they're not able to attend field trips. We have Boy and Girl Scout programs that are pretty popular, especially the badge programs for Boy Scouts, environmental science and oceanography badge. Our instructors have organized the program so that they can meet most of the requirements for those badges in one day. We also have Girl Scout Journey programs, which is similar to the badge programs for Boy Scouts. And we have a summer camp program, which this year, just like a lot of other organizations, has gone virtual. And we also offer college classes in the summer for introductory to marine biology at our organization. So there's a lot of things for school-age children to do with our organization.
Which is great. And I know last year we introduced you guys to the Central Jersey Club, which is an amazing organization of women in the Asbury Neptune area that just do remarkable stuff, right? In Long Branch. And
yes.
Really, and really good.
We are definitely grateful to you and to New Jersey Natural Gas for introducing us to them, because we're going into our 3rd year of partnership with them. And that was just like kismet. You know, we had a fantastic former executive director, Claire Antonucci, who with meeting you on the boardwalk, not just hanging out, but at the live broadcast of 94.3 The Point, met the ladies from the Central Jersey Club. And the relationship, I know the relationship has really taken off since then.
That's
and
great.
We continue to work with them. So we're looking forward to that.
That's great. They're great. Now, listen, if people wanted to learn more about the Sea Grant Consortium, what's your website? What's the best way that they can do that?
We're at njseagrant.org.
And that's SEA grant, right?
Correct.
Okay, NJSEA grant.org. Okay, that's great. And really appreciate being here. We're going to go on the second segment after this commercial break and learn more about Sea Grant and some other programs that we work on together, which would be great. So I look forward to that. So for our viewers, please stay tuned after this commercial. We're going to be back with the second part of Community Connections here at SCAN. Thank you.
At the Save Green Project from New Jersey Natural Gas, we're bringing you rebates and incentives, including 0% APR financing, right on your natural gas bill to help make energy efficiency affordable. And with the possibility of no upfront costs and special incentives for moderate income customers, investing in equipment upgrades doesn't have to be out of reach. Go to SaveGreenProject.com for details on available rebates and incentives to help you upgrade to energy-efficient HVAC and water heating equipment. You could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in incentives for seal-up and insulation fixes. In the long run, you could be saving money on your energy bills too. Visit us at SaveGreenProject.com. That's SaveGreenProject.com.
All right, and welcome back to Scans Community Connection. Again, I'm your host, Tom Hayes, and look forward to another wonderful segment with the wonderfully talented and beautiful Diana Burich. And again, she's the Acting Director of Education at the Sea Grant Consortium, which, as we talked about, is located at Fort Hancock out in Sandy Hook. And that is a beautiful, beautiful location. And for this part of this segment, Diana, we're going to be talking about really an event that we've worked with you guys for now 17 years. It was 17 years ago, and I remember because it was my baby in the sense for the company. We were looking at doing a program somewhere that really was focused on our environment in the coastal arena that we're in, right? We have so much beautiful oceanfront and rivers and bays. So we were looking for a partner to bring in to really put something together that we can invite the community in to really learn about the environment and know how important it is and how to take care of it and all that. And, you know, when I met with the folks at, as you said, the New Jersey Marine Science Consortium, that's what you were named back 17 years ago, which is now Sea Grant Consortium. It was like a match made in heaven. It was magical history ever since then. It just really worked out great. And as you know, you've been involved now for the last few years with the whole thing with our Ocean Fun Days, right? So
Yes.
they're our main partner, and of course we have some other groups. We have the Island State Park folks down in Ocean County that are wonderful to work with. And typically it was a 2-day event. Saturday we were down at Island Beach State Park, and then every Sunday, that Sunday, then we would be up at Sandy Hook. And almost every year it was always the weekend before Memorial Day kicked off. But as you know, as we all know, this year with COVID-19, things changed quite a bit. We weren't able to do anything back then. And as we've been sort of trying to hold on, trying to do something, we were focused on doing something in the fall. The decision was made at a certain point to make this a virtual event this year. So I know your team has been great. You've got the wonderful Rose Higgins, who has been as involved for all 17 years. And really, I have to say publicly, she's done a great job. She is so organized and has everything laid out. She gets up early at the crack of dawn and puts all the little signs up and everything. She really has been a treasure to work with, as all your team, yourself and everybody on your team. Always have been a pleasure to work with. And Danica Bellini, who's also been a wonderful asset to the committee and helping out and all that. So from your perspective, does your team, it seems like everybody, you know, we have a great committee and everybody gets along with, it's not only you guys in the Island Beach State Parks, it's the state DEP people are involved. And, you know, we've got county people, like everybody is really involved and loves this event. And we've got amazing exhibitors, but tell me the truth, honestly, from your standpoint, does your team enjoy being involved with this event?
Oh, absolutely. It's the biggest event of the year for us. We love having you guys as a partner. And you mentioned some of the other partners, and the other partners include NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Asbury Park Press, of course, the National Park Service at Gateway National Recreation Area, the Department of Environmental Protection and New Jersey Division of Parks and Forestry. So we have a plethora of partners coming together to bring this 2-day event to Island Beach State Park and to Sandy Hook. And like you said before, we're in our 17th year, and been going strong for 17 years. It's a really great 2-day event. It's family friendly. It's free for everybody. And really the idea behind it is to share information about marine and coastal resources, but also energy conservation, which is where the connection between our organizations comes in. We have a lot of things for families to do. They can enjoy hands-on marine and environmental programs and energy conservation exhibits. There are free giveaways. The exhibitors love talking to people about Ocean Fun Day's mission, which is to promote understanding and stewardship of New Jersey's marine and coastal resources and energy conservation. Oh, that was a mouthful. And families can really learn about our coastal environments and learn conservation tips too. So I also think with regard to Ocean Fun Day, the fact that it's free and it's accessible to everyone. We hold it in parks that are accessible to all people of abilities. So many people can take advantage of this event. We have that scavenger hunt that the children participate in. So they visit the exhibitors that are marked. And there's usually 10 of them, and they learn conservation tips, and then they get a surprise or prize at the end, which are always a lot of fun. I know I was running around with my Ocean Fun Day cape once or twice. My,
I mean, I think of over the years, we've had so many wonderful things. We had magnifying glasses and
oh yeah.
flashlights and like things that like just were really cool for kids and adults. I mean, I use my magnifying glass still all the time. Every time I pull it out, I'm like, oh, Ocean Fun Day number 7, I think that was.
Well, I got to show you something really quickly. Can you see this? Hold on. Can you see my New Jersey natural gas hand sanitizer on my keys?
Yeah, yeah.
How useful is that, especially now?
Yes, it really,
I love
really,
that giveaway.
Yeah, that was great. But it's, it's just so much fun, like it said, having the kids involved and having scavenger hunt where they can, it forces them to make sure they get it to really like all the tables are important, all the exhibitors are important, but it kind of gets everybody around the entire facility so they can really see everything, because there is so much to learn. And, not only do our partners in putting this together, really put so much into it, but all these exhibitors that show up every year and do such great work and have such great exhibits to show these kids on all the important features of our coastal environment. And, as a kid, when you learn this stuff, you are like branded with that thought in your head that you have to take care of this environment. And that's really what we're trying to do, is get all of us to really realize what an important role we play in taking care of this environment. So it's great to be working with you guys and, doing all the great work, getting these events to happen every year. And last year alone, we had over 15,000 attendees. So it's become more and more popular all the time. So it's been a lot lot of fun. Now,
it really is. Yeah, I'm sorry.
This year, as we talked about, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell us a little bit about where we're going this year.
So, at the beginning of the COVID-19 shutdown for everyone, Ocean Fun Days, of course, we were concerned about whether we can have it in person. Wasn't necessarily the best idea, so the decision was made to postpone it to the fall. So we thought maybe we can have it in the fall. It's such a great event. People work so hard for it, but also a lot of people enjoy attending, but we still have the same constraints, and it's for health reasons, safety reasons, that we decided to go virtual this year. And this is really exciting because we'll be doing Ocean Fun Day virtually October 10th and 11th. I think that's the date for the time being. And our exhibitors are going to have presentations and information that we'll be putting on a virtual platform and accessible over a few day period. So I think this is going to be great because it would give more people the opportunity to see what other organizations are doing to help our environment, and to still be involved with the event, because we have a vast number of families that like to attend every year, and they'll travel from other parts of the state to come to our event. So it's nice to be able to have something that they can access from the safety and the comfort of their own home.
Yes, right. Which is great. And, I think we also talked about the possibility of having these exhibitors, little videos and all accessible for teachers and all to use later on, and be able to maybe use it in their classroom or do more, it'll make more use out of what everybody's put together, for this event, which I think is a interesting addition to the whole concept of doing the virtual event. Right. So, I think it's going to be obviously different. People loved getting out and being at those locations, and we know the rules still are not going to be what they need to be for us to be able to have an event like that. 15,000 people. I think we talked about 250 people together now, and maybe 500 in the near future, but eventually it's going to be, out there, but I don't think we're going to get to 15,000.
You never know.
But,
you'd be surprised how popular some virtual events are becoming now.
Yeah, which would be great virtually, but that's why we have to be virtual, because we don't think we're going to be able to have people in person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 15,000 people in October, it's probably, we're not going to open up those doors quite that far, I don't think yet.
No, not yet.
So at least, yeah, virtually we can have 100,000 people. That'd be great. And again, having the information available for everybody to access and utilize, I think will be wonderful too.
Yeah, I agree. And what you said with regards to educators, it would be great. This is a weekend event, so teachers cannot necessarily bring their students to this event. But if there's content for them online, it's most likely usable in their classrooms.
Yeah, which I think is great. And again, it just opens up a new world for us. And, in the future, hopefully we get back to obviously everybody being able to be out there and having fun together and learning about all this stuff and playing the games and doing all this stuff, the fresh air, the beautiful weather, all those great things that make these events such a spectacular one.
Tom, don't forget our crab races.
Oh gosh, the crab races.
Our fiddler crab races.
Legendary.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Dr. Pete is our crab guy.
Yes,
he does a great job.
That's a family favorite. Again, I think since day one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's all kinds of great stuff for people to see when they're there. But this year, again, the virtual, I think, will be a wonderful way of providing this opportunity for folks. And, it's virtual. So you go on, you see what you want, you can take a break, go get something to eat, come back and see more of the exhibitors, presentations. And, we're really asking the exhibitors to make sure they're interesting and educational little vignettes, but not too long, not too, understanding that people want to kind of look at stuff, want to be entertained while they're learning, which is what Ocean Fun Days is all about. So, hopefully when we get this all set and done, it's going to be a really nice program for people to enjoy.
What I think you're going to see more of this year is our researchers and the NOAA researchers making contributions. They're normally exhibitors at Ocean Fun Day, but there's so many grad students that are supported by Sea Grant and also NOAA. And they'll be sharing the research that they're working on, and that's really just another way for them to inform the public of the work that they're doing. So
Right.
this is a great platform for them as well.
Right, I agree. That's great. It's and again, I think it does open up a whole new world for people. And as you said, for the researchers and all that, when you go to their tables and there's a bunch of kids around and they're crowding around, they're showing this stuff, it's great. But I think in this scenario, they'll be able to focus and have the time to say exactly what they want to say and get the points across the way they want to in a more calm setting, in a sense. So I think that's going to help people a lot to learn a lot more about these important aspects of all this research that's going on to make sure that our oceans are being protected and that we're learning more and more about the critical, relationships, not only between humans and the ocean, but other creatures in the ocean, the weather in the ocean, and what's going on in different parts of the country and the world that are affecting our oceans and all that. So I think, I'm looking forward to really seeing and learning a lot. And to be honest with you, having been involved these 17 years, the whole day we're running around making sure everybody's got everything what they need. I never really get to see anything. So
now you will.
I'm looking forward to really going through it and seeing everything that the exhibitors have to offer. It's pretty cool.
Me too.
And you mentioned NOAA, and again, I know NOAA is a major team player in all this. And their labs, which are across the street from where your location is out in Sandy Hook, they have a lot of tanks and a lot of cool stuff in there. So they have a lot of researchers as well, right?
They do, and they're part of the Northeast Marine Fisheries Service. So they are one of the labs on the East Coast. There's another one in Connecticut, but they're doing a lot of research on climate science and how it affects economically important species. So the information that comes out of that lab is so important to us today with a changing climate.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. That's pretty incredible. So, and again, all the folks that they have, and then all the other folks that come from all over the state, and some even from out of state, but these exhibitors, I'm really looking forward to some really interesting information, right? And
I am too.
I know you are. So now if people wanted to get, as we go forward towards that, we want to get people information on what site to go to. That's the oceanfundays.org, right? That I know you guys help set up. So
Correct.
Right? So oceanfundays.org
.org. Mhm.
is the website for that. So that'll be great. And we'll look forward to sending people there. And as time goes on, there'll be more information put on there. And as you mentioned, the event will be in mid-October. And, you know, we're still working out some fine tuning on that, but it should be a great event for everybody. Well, Diana, again, I want to thank you and your Sea Grant Consortium folks for all that you do in the community. And I appreciate your being with us today. And thank you for that.
Thanks for having me, Tom, and thanks for being such a great partner to New Jersey Sea Grant Consortium.
That's likewise. So, and thank you to our viewers. We appreciate you, and stay tuned and take care. And we'll see you at the next program on Scans Community Connections.